I was at a public lake outside Baton Rouge on a Thursday morning in late September, the kind of morning where the water was flat and the air was already thick, and I had been out there for about an hour without a single strike. There was a man, about 50 yards down the bank from me, 72 years old, beat up spinning rod with a reel that looked older than I was. He was catching fish on every third or fourth cast, not occasionally, consistently largemouth crappie. A catfish he released without even standing up from his folding chair. I moved down the bank after about 20 minutes of watching. His name was Eddie. He had been fishing that lake since before the boat ramp existed. When I asked him what he was using on his bait, he looked at me the same way. Every person who actually knows what they are doing looks at someone who does not. Like the question itself is slightly amusing. He reached into his vest and pulled out a small plastic container, about the size of a film canister. Inside was a dry mixture of two things: iodized salt and garlic powder. 3 tablespoons of plain iodized salt to 2 tablespoons of garlic powder, mixed dry and kept in a sealed container in his vest pocket. He wetted his bait in the water, rolled it in the mixture, waited about 2 minutes, and cast. By the end of that morning, Eddie had caught 52 fish. In 90 minutes I had caught 4. Same water, same species, same depth, same conditions. $2 mixture versus the $30 Berkeley scent spray I had in my tackle bag that I had been reapplying every 40 minutes because it kept washing off. Here's the science behind why that 2-ingredient mixture works, and why the tournament circuits in Louisiana, Texas, and Oklahoma all attempted to restrict its use in the 1980s. Salt does something specific in water that commercial attractant manufacturers have spent decades trying to replicate in a bottle. When iodized salt contacts the water, it creates a salt gradient, a zone of higher dissolved mineral concentration that spreads outward from the bait. That gradient expands as the bait moves through the water, creating a trail of elevated salinity that fish can track back to the source. Fish detect that gradient through their lateral line system, the same sensory network that detects pressure changes and chemical signals in the water. A salt gradient reads to a fish as a disruption in the water chemistry, the kind of disruption that occurs naturally when a bait fish is injured or dying. The body fluids of a fish are saltier than the surrounding fresh water. When a bait fish is injured, those fluids leak out into the water, creating exactly the kind of salt gradient that iodized salt on your bait mimics. The fish is not smelling salt. It is reading a chemical signal that its biology has learned over millions of years to associate with prey that cannot escape. The garlic component works through a completely different mechanism. Garlic contains allicin, a sulfur compound that, when dissolved in water, produces a chemical profile that closely matches the amino acid signature of injured fish tissue. It is the same type of free amino acid signal that triggers approach behavior in largemouth and catfish, but produced by a spice that costs a few dollars at any grocery store, instead of a synthesized formula in a $30 bottle at the tackle shop. The combination of salt gradient and allicin release creates 2 simultaneous triggers. Salt says something is injured here. Allicin confirms it is food. Both signals hit the fish's sensory system at the same time, and the result is the kind of immediate committed strike that Eddie was producing every third or fourth cast down the bank from me. The tournament circuits understood this before most recreational anglers did. Louisiana tournament organizers first started seeing complaints in the late 1970s from competitors who noticed that certain anglers were consistently outperforming the field. Not by a small margin, by a margin that made no sense given the water conditions or the gear. The investigation pointed to dry bait treatments that left no visible residue and could not be detected or prohibited without testing every bait before entry. Texas and Oklahoma tournament circuits saw the same pattern in the same complaints. By the early 1980s, all 3 circuits had written restriction language into their rules targeting dry mineral and botanical bait applications. The restrictions applied only to competitive tournament entry, not to recreational fishing anywhere in those states, but the effect of putting it in a tournament rulebook was the same as telling a generation of recreational anglers that it was banned outright. Most people who heard about the restrictions assumed they applied everywhere. The products that came out of Bass Pro and Berkeley in the same decade were marketed as the legal replacement for methods that were now restricted, whether the angler was ever in a tournament or not. Before the vault mentioned, if you want 10 more methods like this that cost almost nothing. The Forbidden Baits add-on inside the angler's vault has the complete list: catfish killer dough, the ivory soap trick, the bacon grease dip, and 7 more. All completely legal, all under $5, and all built on the same principle. Natural triggers that cost next to nothing, outperform synthetic products every time. Scan the QR code in the top left corner, or click the first link in the description. But stay here because the variations are what make this work across every species and season. Here is the complete recipe and every variation Eddie showed me that morning. The base mixture is 3 tablespoons of plain iodized salt to 2 tablespoons of garlic powder, not sea salt, not kosher salt, not garlic salt, plain iodized table salt and pure garlic powder. No other ingredients in the base store. It dry in a small sealed container that fits in a vest pocket or tackle bag. The mixture does not degrade over time in dry storage. One batch lasts an entire season with regular use. To apply it, wet the bait lightly in your bucket or in the water. Roll it in the mixture or press it gently against the powder in your palm. Let it sit for about 2 minutes before the cast. That 2-minute window lets the salt begin drawing moisture out of the bait surface, which creates the gradient effect from the first second the bait enters the water. For walleye, add a small amount of ground white pepper to the base mixture. Walleye are highly sensitive to dissolved compounds in cold, clear water. White pepper contains a compound profile that walleye associate with invertebrate prey. In low light conditions, which is when walleye feed most aggressively, the addition of white pepper gives the mixture a broader sensory reach. For crappie and bluegill, the base mixture at standard ratio is enough. Their lateral line sensitivity is high, and the salt gradient alone produces strong results. You do not need the garlic component at full strength for panfish. A 1-to-1 ratio of salt to garlic instead of 3-to-2 produces a cleaner signal that panfish respond to without hesitation. Now the variations that extend this across different conditions and species. In cold water, below 55 degrees Fahrenheit, add a small pinch of cayenne pepper. The active compound in cayenne pepper triggers a stress response in fish. In cold water, when metabolism is slowed and fish are less likely to pursue bait aggressively. That compound activates a reactive strike behavior that bypasses the normal feeding decision. The fish does not evaluate the bait. It reacts to the irritant signal and strikes immediately. Use a small amount, a pinch per batch. Too much, and the signal becomes overwhelming and the fish moves away from it. In murky or stained water where visibility drops below a few feet, double the garlic powder ratio. When visual detection is reduced, fish rely more heavily on chemical signals in the water. Higher allicin concentration extends the effective detection range of the bait, compensating for what the fish cannot see with a stronger version of what it can detect. For catfish, specifically add 1 teaspoon of dark brown sugar to the base mixture. Catfish have taste receptors distributed across their entire body surface. They respond to a broader range of dissolved compounds than largemouth do. The sugar adds a fermentation-adjacent sweetness to the scent profile that catfish associate with decomposing organic matter near the bottom, which is exactly the food source they are most actively seeking. For saltwater applications, substitute half the iodized salt with MSG monosodium glutamate, which is available at any grocery store for a few dollars. MSG releases glutamate compounds in saltwater that match the amino acid profile of crustacean and baitfish tissue more closely than iodized salt alone. The resulting signal is more precisely tuned to the food sources saltwater species hunt. Now put the full cost comparison in front of you so it is impossible to ignore. The base mixture of iodized salt and garlic powder costs approximately $2 for enough material to cover an entire season of regular use. A $30 Berkeley scent spray covers roughly 10 trips. Before the concentration drops below effective levels or the bottle runs empty, over a full season that means replacing the bottle 3 to 4 times. Between $90 and $120 for a product that produces a diluted amino acid signal in a water-based carrier that disperses in 30 to 40 minutes per application. The $2 mixture produces a salt gradient and Allicin release simultaneously. From the first cast, does not wash off in 30 minutes, does not require reapplication every half hour, and does not need replacing at the end of the season. Eddie has been using the same recipe for over 30 years. He has never once walked into a Bass Pro. He has never once bought a scent product off a tackle shop shelf. He just keeps a small container in his vest pocket and catches 52 fish on a Thursday morning, while the guy 50 yards up the bank with the $30 spray in his bag catches 4. The difference was never the water, never the species, never the conditions. It was the $2 container in the vest pocket, and 30 years of knowing exactly what was in it. If you want 10 more methods at this cost level or lower, the Forbidden Baits add-on inside the Angler's Vault has the complete list. Scan the QR code in the top left corner or click the first link in the description. The complete system is inside the Angler's Vault.